Hi, thanks for stopping by again. Wanted to go back and revisit an ancestor that I talked about earlier this year, and that would be my ninth great grandfather, William Pynchon, out of Springfield, Massachusetts. Not too long ago, I guess earlier this year, I had a chance to go to Hartfield, Connecticut on a business trip, and while I was there, I took advantage of a free afternoon and I drove up to Springfield, Massachusetts, which was the city founded by my ninth great grandfather, William Pynchon. And while I was there, I had a chance to look around and I found Pynchon Park right down in the downtown area. And I found there was a Pynchon House, which was on the Commons area right by the Dr. Seuss memorial, for lack of a better word, where there was a lot of fun Dr. Seuss characters done in bronze statues. And also had a chance to visit. First off, I want to talk about this mural that hangs today in the Springfield Library. It was painted back in 1909 by another ancestor of mine. I guess I should say a relative. He was actually a great great grandson of William Pynchon, and he was the artist by the name of Robert Louis Reed. And in 1909, Robert Louis Reed was commissioned to paint a mural for what was then the high school, which has now been converted into the library in Springfield, Massachusetts. Now, you don't get a sense of it from this picture, and I'm actually going to put a link to it because it's really hard to get any detail on this small screen. But this was a mural that he was commissioned to paint, and it's actually huge. You don't get a sense of scale from this picture, but it's an enormous painting, a mural there that hangs in the Springfield Library. And the title of it is The Light of Education. And it's described that he painted William Pynchon there in his Puritan garb right there in the center. And it says he's depicting the founder of the city, William Pynchon, standing on a hill at dawn, arms reaching out to Native Americans and a young pioneer family, symbolizing the spirit of learning. And I thought that was pretty cool to go there and see that. And the next thing I did is not far from the library, walk down the street a little ways, you come to what used to be the old post office building, which is now owned by I guess it's government offices for the city of Springfield. But there's a second mural that hangs there, and this is it here. It's a little bit of an abstract type thing. But it's actually done by an Italian artist, and this was done in, what year was that? 1937. In this old post office building, they wanted to have a series of murals depicting the history of Springfield, Massachusetts. And the very first one he painted was of William Pynchon. He's kind of a colorful figure there. Again, hard to get anything from this small little iPad thing, so I'll put a link to it. You can take a closer look at it. The thing I found interesting is right below William Pynchon there, you see an Indian. He's actually sitting in a canoe, and he's looking at something in his hand. And there's been a lot of discussion about what this is online. To me, it looks like an Apple iPhone. And many people have said that. But of course, being painted in 1937, nobody's quite sure what it is. But to me, it looks just like an iPhone. And I kind of got a kick out of that. It says here that the painting includes him, and I'm not really an art guy, and so they make some artist comments here. It says Pynchon stands out as the central figure in the mural, but through Romano's bold use of colors, painting him in a rose-pink suit with a white lace collar and a hat set at a jaunty angle on his head. The Indians in the mural, as common with many murals from this time period, are wearing very little clothing. In the foreground, an Indian woman sits on the ground, wearing nothing but a baby straddled to a cradle board on her back. Some of the portions appear distorted or inflated to odd proportions. It includes images of suffering through a man in a yellow shirt whose hands seem bound behind his back, and an image of a person set in stocks. The mural is a mosaic of images rather than depicting one specific incident at a set point in time. It represents different aspects of the establishment of Springfield, Massachusetts. Though the Indian inhabitants of the area are at the forefront of the action, they steadily fade from view throughout the ensuing mural panels and from the history and landscape of Springfield, Massachusetts. Okay, take that for what you will. Here's the point I want to make. Between all the monuments and paintings and things, a lot of our ancestors don't have that. I think William Pynchon is still an example. I think I mentioned before in my last post about William Pynchon that even today, every year there is a person from Springfield who is selected to join the Order of William Pynchon. This is an award that's given out annually to somebody who gives back to the community. So his legacy continues on even to today. I guess my point is not many of our ancestors have monuments or murals painted for them. I'm sure that when I leave this earth, there won't be many murals or paintings of me. But I guess the point I want to make is that all of our ancestors and the choices they've made have led us to where we are now. The fact that some of our ancestors decided to leave the old world and come to the United States. The fact that your parents and my parents made choices on where they would live and where they would grow up. Jobs that they took, assignments that took them to different places, have all played a part into getting us to where we are now. And so I'm grateful for the choices that were made. I'm grateful for the choices I've made. I'm grateful for the choices my kids and my grandchildren will make. And although they will leave this earth with probably not many murals or remembrances in the form of a statue or anything, having their name placed upon something, they still will have made an important contribution by making good choices and trying to follow the example of him who we've all committed to do. And I think that's going to be the legacy that most of us will leave. And I think that's one that we can all be proud of. So again, I thank you for stopping by. If you ever get a chance to get to Springfield, it's worth the trip. And I hope to get back there again someday pretty soon. So I hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you again next time.